recording now. So you will also able to see in your this Microsoft Teams account. So today's lecture is about how you learn. How you learn. You means as a university student, how a university student learn the things, learning. So this is a very general lecture regarding how you are able to learn. How can I switch? Let me just finish this first. Focus. Okay, this one. So today's lecture is about how people learn. In this lecture, it's not moving. Slideshow. One minute, huh? Bas, I will start now. I could not able to switch between the. Okay, now. So the objective of today's lecture is to see the difference between undergraduate learning, that is what you learn in school, and how what is difference between school learning and the university learning, and how to learn actively and deeply. Means you have to have a very good knowledge, and it will be useful for other purposes also. This is called as active and deep learning. Nobody is telling you how to prepare yourself. What is your learning style? Because this is a very good topic, that every student has got his different style of learning. Somebody they learn by writing. They learn it by writing, keeping notes or drawing something. Some learn by only listening to the audio. They can learn it by listening to the audio lectures, or some learn by actually performing. They are more related to the things which are done in the lab. So there are different types of learning are there. Because of that, we have to find out what is our learning style. Once we know that my learning style is seeing by looking at the slides, it's good. That I will use it for my preparation. If my learning style is for doing, that is kinesthetic, then it will be better learned by the practicals, by the labs. If my learning style is audio, then I have to attend the lectures to listen to the lectures. These are the few learning styles. We will go in deep. How to promote reflective learning? What is mean by reflection? Reflection means, suppose, I will give you the example, not from the college. Let's say you have got one football match, and maybe you lose the match because of one thing, because of your one fault, your one mistake, or some abnormality, something you did not able to do properly. But for the next match, you will try to overcome that mistake and try to avoid that mistake. This is called as reflection. Learning from your previous experience is called as reflection. Anything, let's say there is a small quiz which is not for like it's a formative quiz. At the end of the quiz, they will give you the answer, they will explain you the answer, and you found that you did not make it properly, or you could not achieve full mark. So for the next lecture, you will try to avoid these mistakes and you will try to get the full mark. This is called as reflective learning, learning from old experiences. So we will see in this lecture the difference between the secondary school learning and the university learning, and defining the principles of learning, and the different types of learning, which I just told you, that learning could be visual, learning could be audio, verbal, learning could be kinesthetic by doing, learning could be just by discussion also. and to apply these principles in your learning activities. Whenever you learn something, you use these techniques to increase your learning or to memorize or to get the good marks. These are some, you don't have to go through these. These are just some problems. So we will come to the first slide. Actually, the first slide of this one is this one. Learning, the process of what is the meaning of learning? Definition. Definition of learning is it's a process of acquisition. Now I will suggest you to write down the difficult words and try to find out the meaning in Arabic, because you are basically native Arabic speakers. If you are able to understand it in English, well and good. But if suppose you did not understand it in English, try to Google it or try to see the app which give you the translation of difficult words. I'm not saying you translate everything. I'm saying you only difficult words, because I myself cannot tell you in Arabic what is there in Arabic. Although below the slide there is a comment box is there, notes box is there. I tried to put the Arabic version or Arabic meaning of the difficult words in that slide. Maybe few slides only, not all. And maybe I will put it in the glossary. If you remember, on the Moodle page, you have got one file which is known as glossary. Glossary is the meaning of difficult words. It's just like a dictionary. But this one is related to only one lecture, because that lecture is having more difficult words. That's why I put it. But for every lecture, at least try to write down the difficult words and try to put it in the glossary list of yours. For here, let's say the process of acquisition. Acquisition means gaining. You acquire or you take from someone else. New knowledge, skills, maharat, attitudes, how you behave, values, behaviors. I don't know the Arabic of all these things. So please, someone can help to translate, or someone have to, because there is no translation in Arabic also for these slides. Behaviors, preference, and understanding is known as learning. So learning does not mean only remembering something. Learning means gaining knowledge, skills, and attitudes, values, and behaviors, so that in future it will be changed. It will be, your way of thinking will change. It is not only knowledge. You should be able to demonstrate such new learning. Learning is when you get all the things, not only knowledge, rest other things also. It is called as learning. What is the definition of study? Is it similar? Study and learning are they similar words? Because we use them interchangeably. Frequently we use, sometimes I am studying, sometimes I say I am learning. Which one is correct? Please be interactive in the class. You can answer.
Can you repeat, Doctor?
Well, we say sometimes that I am learning, and sometimes we say I am studying. Are they same or different?
No, different, teacher.
Okay, what is the difference?
The learning is studying new thing. Study it's doing memorizing thing, and study things that already you learn.
No. Learning, as I told you in the previous slide, that it is a comprehensive. It requires knowledge also, attitude, behaviors, and skills also, and it will change your way of thinking. This is called as learning. Whereas studying is only finding out the answer of a particular question. One specific question in my mind: how I can join Teams meeting without a link? This is my question. So I will find out the way how to join the Teams meeting just by the link, not by enrolling or not by having email address in that one. This is called as a study. Finding out the answer for one question, one particular type, is called as study. Whereas learning is broad, general term. When you gain the knowledge, attitudes, behaviors, everything is called as learning. Another example, let's say in one of the study, you may see this sentence frequently either in the newspaper or in a scientific article. one of the study found that consuming or eating more fats leads to increased rate of heart disease. This is a study, right? You will find this type of sentence. In a study found that consumption of fats lead to increased incidence of heart attack or heart disease. This is a study. So they found out the answer for one question. This is called as a study, not for the all. So study is reading with a purpose to obtain a specific answer for a specific question. Whereas learning is, it is generally change everything. It will change your way of thinking, your style, your attitudes, behavior, everything. Got it? So do you think the learning in school and learning in the university are different or same? What is your opinion?
No, of course.
Different.
Yes, it is different because you may find so many differences that in the school everything is fixed. You have got from 8 to, let's say in the morning, your school is starting from 7 till 1 o'clock or 8 till 12 o'clock, something like that. Fixed timetable, fixed lecture schedule, fixed teacher, and the material is also fixed. You have to finish this book only, or something like that. But in when you come to the undergraduate level or to the university level, everything will depend upon you as a student. You will choose the which courses you are taking, or what is your schedule. Schedule may be different, or book is not only one, maybe many books are there, many references are there. So it is different, it is wide. So this is a slide showing you the differences between school level as well as in the university level. The source of information in the school is mainly from teachers or books, but from in the university, not only books, teachers, but like peers, that is your colleagues or other students. Internet also can be used. You don't find everything in the book only. You have to go and search the library, either electronic or in the physical library. So you are utilizing many sources. In the school, it is only books or teachers. That's it. Orientation, more knowledge oriented. You are getting more knowledge. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. This is the knowledge, facts. Whereas in the undergraduate, you are using not oriented to the knowledge, but its application, its behavior, its skills, which you are learning. How to save the life of the patient. This is our aim, not only to read anatomy, physiology, biochemistry only. How to correct the illness of the patient. The goals is to pass the exam in the school. You have to pass the exam from grade 1 to grade 2, grade 2 to grade 3, like that. But here, not only pass the exam, even if you pass the exam in the university without any knowledge, without any change in the behavior, it is of no use. What you will do if you don't know how to treat a patient? You pass the exam, but you are not able to examine the patient. So not only to pass exam, but mainly train your profession. Now you are coming in one field like medicine. Some are going for nursing, some are going for pharmacy. So in the university, they are not related to just to pass the exam, but you are entering into a field, a profession now. Type of learning in the school, usually passive and superficial. Passive and superficial. Most of the things you learn and maybe not applicable directly in your day-to-day life. So you are just reading it for purpose of passing the exam to change the grade from one grade to another grade. But in the university, it has to be active. You are supposed to start your learning. Not teacher will not tell you. You are the one who will find the ways to learn. So active learning as well as the deep learning. Deep learning meaning that whatever you learn, you apply it in the real situation. Suppose I learn anatomy of heart. Then while examining the heart, you must keep in mind how the heart look like, where is the location, how it will be, or the physiology, how the heart sounds will come. So deep learning is required, not superficial. Methods, mainly books and teachers notes in the school. Whereas more number of methods are there: lectures, small group discussion, computer assisted learning, library, internet, clinical skills, or many methods are there for learning. Assessment, usually written exams or maybe some oral exams in the school, but in the university there are examination from all the aspect, your writing aspect, your knowledge aspect, your practical aspect, everything. So written exams are also there. Practical, that is objective structured practical examination, OSP, or vivas, that is oral exam. Clinical exam, objective structured clinical exam. So these are the different methods of examination or learning, different in the university from the school. So you are considered as adult learner. Now you are big, so you are considered as adult learner. They are different from children's. What is the difference? Adult learners, they need to know what they are able to learn, because you have taken admission in MBBS course, so you want to become doctor. Adult learners need to know why they want to learn anatomy, why they want to learn physiology, why they want to learn physics, why they want to learn communication. All these, they are already knowing this one. They are aware. They have got self-concept because they are responsible for their decision. They want to become doctor. Now they have taken responsibility of becoming a doctor by learning things. Learners experience, they have a variety of experience because they are already maybe 17, 16 years old. So they have got a good experience of their life or previous learning. They are ready because they already chosen the profession and they are oriented, so they are ready for learning. Anything we ask them to do, we ask them, suppose let's say I will ask you to make a project, then they will make it a project because they are ready. They know that these are things will be happening in our course. Orientation to the learning, they are motivated to learn and they want to confront all these life situations, because once become doctor, you may be able to perform duties during emergency, or maybe in your family someone is sick. So you are oriented now. So this is just the summary of what we have covered in the previous slide. Adult learner has got these qualities. They have got self-concept. They need to know what they are going to learn. They have got a very good foundation of maybe previous 16 years experience. Their readiness, they are motivated and they are oriented. You are not forced here to come to the medical college or Al Maarifah University to learn medicine, because you have taken choice. This is your choice that you want to become doctor. If you want to have a deep and active learning, what you should do? You should because superficial learning is not possible or not helpful in the profession. Superficial, just reading superficially, memorizing the thing is not possible, not useful. You have to learn actively and deeply, because superficial learning or information they are volatile. They remain for a very short period of time in your brain, and once you stop, it will disappear. And it is not possible to apply the same knowledge in the practical situation just by reading it. I will give you an example. Like basic life support course. This is a BLS or basic life support course where you are taught how to behave in case of emergency, person suffering from any heart disease or heart attack in front of you, how you can save life. Put down the patient on the hard surface and try to open the airway and then start giving him breath and then start cardiopulmonary resuscitation. This is called as ABC of BLS. You cannot learn it just by reading unless you perform it. Otherwise, if you read it and suddenly in front of you somebody is falling, you cannot help him because you have not done it practically. So you have to learn the things deeply and actively, then only you can apply it into the practical situation. So in general, how you can achieve active and deep learning? in general, if I ask you how you can achieve active and deep learning, so your answer should be you should not be a passive learner, just receiving the information. You have to interact with the information. You have to interact with the information in different ways, do different things, like you have to write down, make your notes, make some charts, do something so that you remember it for more time. Not only reading. Reading is not possible. Reading will give you only superficial knowledge. There is a study which shows that what do you remember, or how much percentage you remember by applying one technique. It says that if you read only, you will remember 20% of the knowledge. Let's say you finish 10 pages reading. If I ask you a question, you may be able to give answer for only 2 pages because it is only remaining 20% in your mind. If you hear the lecture, let's say you hear the lecture. If I ask you a question, maybe you will be able to give 30% of the answers, not 100%. So just reading will give you 20% marks. Just hearing the lecture you will remember only 30% of the knowledge. If you see it, how it is happening. Let's say you saw one person is doing basic life support or CPR in front of you. Then there are chances that you may be able to repeat similarly about 40%. So what you see, you can produce or you can remember it 40%. Let's say if I say you to tell me about basic life support, then if you have already read it and then you are saying it, replying to me, then maybe you will able to do remember it around 50% of the knowledge. And if you are able to do it properly in front of me, then you will be able to remember at least 60% of the knowledge. Then the last one, if you combine them together, you read the knowledge, you say the knowledge, you hear the knowledge, and you perform the same activities. Then at least in the next time when I ask you, you may be able to answer it 90% of the questions or the information related to that subject. What is the meaning of this slide? The meaning of this slide is that only one way of doing the things is not sufficient. Not only reading is sufficient, not only listening is sufficient, not only saying is sufficient, but what is sufficient is at least you should read, do, say, and combine all these things. Then only it will reach or take you towards the 90% of the knowledge retention. There is a Chinese proverb which says, if I hear, I forget. If I see, maybe I remember, but if I do, I understand. When you do, let's say I'm giving you lecture. But if you give me lecture, if you prepare a lecture and give me, then you will understand most of the thing from the lecture. So only hearing will make you forget. Only seeing it maybe remember for some times, but if you do, you will understand how the information is, what is the main subject of this one. Similar to the situation like cycling. Once you start cycling, you will be able to, when you practice, then only you learn. Say, or maybe in the hospital, if you do the procedure properly yourself, then only you will remember. Or the example like basic life support, if you do it properly, then you will understand what is the meaning of basic life support. For learning actively and deeply, I recommend don't just read and close the book. Rather try different things. What different things you can try? For let's say for preparation of the Medu lecture, what you will do? You will draw flow chart, or not only flow chart. If it is not related, you can write the notes. Draw flow charts, draw diagrams using different colors, write summary of the lecture, and attempt the answers. If once you finish this one, try to get the questions from somewhere and try to answer it so that you will remember it properly. So actively and deep learning can be achieved by other ways, not only by reading. Reading is must. Yes, you read and then do all these things. Make notes, make charts, make summary, and maybe try to solve questions from the previous exam. In short, interact with the information. It is called as interaction with the information. This will shift you the memory from short term to long term. What is the meaning of short term memory? When you remember the things for very short period of time. Let's say you receive a OTP on the mobile phones. If you receive a OTP on mobile phones, you will see, yes, 3221. You will type it in 3221. If I ask you the same information next day, what was the OTP? You will not be able to say that one because it was only for short term. You remember it for short term. But if I ask you what is your mobile number, you can tell me the mobile number because you are using it since many years, or it is so frequently used. That's why it is kept in your long-term memory. So short-term memory is only for short term. Long-term memory is for, it is deep into the brain. So for that, converting short-term to the long-term memory, you have to learn actively deep and repeat, revise, and revisit the same thing many times. Then only you will remember it for long term. So when you are going to repeat or revise, there is no special time for revision. Immediately after the lecture also you can revise. After the end of the day also you can revise. Next day morning also you can revise many times. There is no special time that no, after only 1 week you have to revise. No, it's not the time. You have to revise every given moment for any information. If you finish something, try to repeat, revise many times. Every given moment you have to repeat it. Don't wait until you finish the whole study. Don't wait. Let's say you have got a module lecture on Monday. When you are going to revise, you have to revise it today only, immediately after the lecture. Don't wait till the weekend. If you are keeping it till the weekend, you will not able to remember it. So revision is immediately after it, not after a long time, not before the exam only. There is scientific curve which is called as forgetting curve. See here. Where is the highlighter eraser? So if suppose I gave you lecture on the day 1, your information will be maximum 100%. But same information, if I ask you day 2, it will be half, just the half. It will come here down. If I ask you after 1 week, it is only maybe 10% remaining here, only 10%. If I ask you after 1 month, you may say, oh yes, adult learning, and this one, yes, we remember something, active and deep, something like that. So the information is reducing day by day. Every single moment after the lecture, the information goes down. What is this one? If on day 2, if you repeat the same information, let's say you revise it, it took 10 minutes and it reached to up to 100%. Let's say you revise it again on day 7 after 1 week. This time it takes only 5 minutes for revision because you already know where is the thing, which page is more important, which diagram is important, and it reaches up to 100%. After 1 month, if you want to revise, let's say exam is there and you are having same lecture. So it will take only 2 to 4 minutes to revise the whole thing. And the information will be becoming 100%. It says that if you don't revise, the information will be reducing tremendously. And if you go on repeating the things, it will be reducing the time for repetition as well as the information is going into the deep memory. Got it?
Yes.
Similarly, same curve is shown here. Every time is passed after the lecture, the information is going down tremendously. If you repeat it, the curve becoming flat and it is remembered for long time. What makes the thing forget easily? Which things get forgotten easily? if you learn very difficult material. If the material is difficult, if the lecture is difficult, it is easily forgotten because you are not interested actually. Or if it is not taught to you properly, proper presentation is not there, the slides are not good, the pictures are not easy to understand, the font was not good, or maybe on the paper of the book was not good, like that. Or some physiological factors, like if you are under stress, you cannot concentrate on the information, or you did not sleep proper time, so you easily forget them. So if there is a physiological factor, or maybe the representation is not there, you can easily forget that information. It is not remembered for a long time. So up till now we covered the learning. Now next few slides are related to learning styles. I will go quickly. You will not able to, and it is not so difficult. Just remember that there are some important things and there are some detailed things are there. So how the learning is different in different persons. Learning styles, we call it as learning style. As I told you, some learn by just seeing. They are called as visual learners. Visual means by eyes. They are reading it and they are remembering it for a long time. Auditory learners, those who learn by listening to the lecture or by audio tapes. Some learn by both together, reading and writing. They are reading the things visual as well as they are writing with their pens, and they are called as the visual and reading and writing learner. Kinesthetic learner is the one which are related to performance. Kinesthetic means movement, actually movement of your hands or something. So those learners who learn by doing, they are called as kinesthetic learner. This is one classification. There are many classification of learning styles. We are not going in detail about them. This one is the most popular. This is called as VARK. V-A-R-K. VARK learning style. This is nothing but visual, auditory, reading and writing, and kinesthetic learning style definition, or you can say classification. But there are others also. For example, some learners are called as reflectors. Reflectors, as I gave you example in the beginning, that learning from your old experience is called as reflection. Think after the event. Suppose you face any exam, you found that you will get 50% of the marks because you made so many mistakes. And you will try to learn it in a better way next time. This is called as reflector or reflective learning. Some learners are theorists. They plan how to learn the things before. They are called as theorist learner. This is another way of classification. Activists, they want to perform directly. Let's say example is mobile phone. If you get a mobile phone, you start scrolling through the screens and learning where is the app, where are the galleries, where is the setting, like that. You don't go and read the brochure or the paper. Where is the start button? Where is the settings? No, you do actually on the phone. This is called as activist. Whereas pragmatists are those who read the brochure as well as perform accordingly. They will be performing it accordingly. They are called as learning style of pragmatist. Although it looks to be difficult words, but just remember the meaning. And you have to see the explanation only. But the upper groups are called as the thinkers. They think first and learn, whereas the lower groups are action oriented. Pragmatists and activists, they are actually doing the things. So they are also classified half here. But learning should be together, combined. You have to be reflector as well as pragmatist or theorist. Mix and match, then only you learn properly. Not one style is sufficient. So what the learning style means, how you perceive the information, how you get the information, and how you process the information. Maybe you will draw something, you will say something, you prepare something. This is called as processing the information. Getting the information and processing the information together will make your learning style. So learning style is which one is correct? If I ask you out of these four different styles or the next four different style, which one is the most important or most correct? Any answer?
The most important style.
What do you think? Which is the correct one?
The correct one for me or
for you?
okay, for me it's reading and writing.
Okay. So it depends upon individual choice. If I ask you that what is the learning style? Learning style is different for everyone. No, nothing is correct. All are correct. You can say all the styles are correct depending upon that person. So there is no right way of studying. The studying right way is depends upon every single person. I may be a good learner by doing. You may be a good learner by seeing. Another may be a good learner by hearing. It depends upon person's choice. So why it is important then? Importance of knowing the learning style, because if you know that you learn better by seeing, so better to use books rather than attending lectures, rather than attending practicals, or rather than giving more attention to something which is related to writing or something. You are good in seeing, so use better this habit for learning, not the other one. So visual learners, they will prefer to learn by seeing. Auditory learners, auditory means through the ears or sound. They learn by sound. Kinesthetic learner, they are practical oriented. They learn by doing. Whereas verbal learner, that is saying, they learn by languages. They used to say something and then they learn. Logical learners, they try to figure out it. Okay, this is how it will be classified. They may put some parts here, some parts here. They may make some connections in the different knowledges. So they found some styles, some formulas to learn. Whereas social learners, they learn it in groups. Social learners, they learn it in groups. Some students, they learn by just visiting to the doctor or by saying something in the group, and then they understand, not by reading. Group learners, they are called as group learners. So this is the detail about the visual style. They prefer the information for seeing. They like to read the things. They memorize by writing repeatedly. When they are inactive, when they are not learning, they will be drawing something because they have got picture in their mind. Visual is always coming as pictures. How they can improve learning? They can improve by visualization or imagination. They have to have visual prompts, concept map. They write something, picture, figures, and then they learn. Visual representation of information on posters. If they make some posters, maybe on their walls, they draw classification, they write some points, and they see every time and they learn, remember it for a long time. Similarly, auditory learners, they like to listen to the teacher. So they have to attend. They have to attend the lectures, see the, or you can say hear the audio tapes many times. They talk very fluently because they talk fluently and logically because they have got sound in their mind or in their ears. It's going on. Memorize by repeating the words aloud. Whenever they are alone, they will say something so that they will hear the same sound and they remember. Inactivity will lead to self-talking. Whenever they are not doing anything, they may be repeating the words by themselves alone. How they can improve? They improve by active listening, rhyming and rhythm mnemonics. Rhymes are, you can make a sentence or a poem for one chapter maybe, or one concept. Suppose you want to remember something in medicine, but as an auditory learner, you make a poem for this one. few lines, share. You know share, making share. Share, what you call in Arabic? Poems.
Share.
Yeah, share. And then they will be imagining something they are hearing. Always they are keep quiet and they are listening what happened in the lecture or maybe repeating the same words. This is how they can improve. Kinesthetic learner, those learners who prefer to do it by themselves. They want to handle the situation or they want to manipulate the object by themselves. They want to see the model, they want to see the human body, and they want to do something by their hand. This is called as kinesthetic learner. Talk about actions, speak more slowly. They are not fluent in speaking. Whenever they are inactive, their hands are maybe going on something, doing or making pearls or making examination. I'm giving examples related to medicine. They are distracted by physical disturbances. If you ask them not to show or not to move their hand, they will get disturbed. How they can improve? They improve by handling or manipulating the objects. Like if there is a simulation lab, they want to go there frequently to perform the procedures frequently to learn. They learn it by acting out, perform the to reach the goals. Acting out means they are behaving as if a consultant or maybe a demonstrator. Body language and physical movements make their learning better. Verbal learners involves both written and spoken word. Written words also and spoken words also express good by writing as well as verbally. They know they love reading and writing. They know meaning of many words, and this is related to the anatomy that their temporal lobe here and the frontal lobe of the brain is responsible for verbal and linguistic style. Logical learners using brain for logical and mathematical reasoning. They want reason why it is happening. Once they understand the reason, then they will be learning properly. Classify the information into groups. If you give them the list of, let's say 10 drugs, they will classify which drugs are related to protein, which drugs are related to some particular enzyme, which drugs are related to some one particular area. Then they group them. So 10 drugs, they may be grouping into 3 or 4, and then they're remembering. So they are working well with the numbers, numbers and complex calculations. Work through the problems. They want to solve the problems. They are logical learners. Their parietal lobe for this one, this is the on the sides. Temporal is down, parietal is up here. On this side, this lobe is responsible for this type of learning in the brain. Social learners, those learning in groups, not by reading, not by taking notes, but they learn it by learning in groups along with the pupil, along with their friends, or maybe seeing the moving around in the wards or in the clinic or hospitals and learning some diseases, some procedures like that one. They prefer learning in groups. They listen well and understand others' views, prefer to stay around and talk with others. They will be always moving around. They are not sitting in the chair and then reading the books. They will be moving around and observing the things. So they are called as social learner or interpersonal learner. And again, in the brain, frontal and temporal lobes are important for this type of learning. So in summary, we can say that different types of learning are there. Auditory learner, they try to listen to things properly. Visual learner, they want to see the things properly. Visual text learner, they want to read the things and then they learn. Tactile or kinesthetic learners are learn by doing. They are practical learners, and verbal learner is by discussion or saying something. Various styles are there. Okay. How you can learn from your previous experiences, that is called as reflection. Reflection is not only related to the academics only. your lifetime experiences are also important. You may learn something from your day-to-day activity, maybe in the house, maybe in the market, you learn something. That is called as reflection. Learning from experience. This is called as reflection. Reflection is purposeful, systematic revisiting of a learning experience. I gave you in the beginning one example that if you have a football match and you do something mistakes in that match, before the next match, you will try to solve these issues. So you learn something, how to improve, and then you correct it in the next match. This is called as reflection. Let's say another example. If you appear for an exam, formative exam, just say in the class you have got one exam, you could not perform well. And at the end, the teacher will advise you that this was wrong, this was not proper, and you made mistake, you did not do properly in this area. By next exam, you will be preparing that corrections or the things which the teacher pointed out. So this is called as reflection, learning from previous experiences. Okay, let me show you any incident that either participated or here. That is called as the learning experience. Learning experience can be, as I gave you example, learning experience in the first example of football match is the match itself. Whereas in the classroom, if you have got some class test, that is your learning experience. So by this way, when you learn from previous experience, it is called as reflective cycle. Reflective cycle. What was the learning event? That is the previous match. What did you learn? I learned that we have to place someone in this position. What more you have to do? Yes, you have to practice in this area, weaknesses. How you can learn it? By improving or applying some other techniques. And evidence of the further learning is that you don't make same mistake in the next exam or next match. This is called as these are the stages of reflective learning. These are called as the reflective learning cycle of scientist Kolb. This is called as Kolb's cycle of reflective learning. Here you may find the terminology difficult, but please concentrate on the concept. What was your event of previous experience? What did you learn from that you are having weakness in this area? And what do you have to learn more? Correct that mistake. And the last one is how you learn. You may be learning by taking some extra coaching or doing some other things. And what is the end result? Next match, you don't repeat the same mistake. This is the whole cycle of learning is called as Kolb's cycle of reflective learning. So with this one, we are coming to the end. That the summary of this lecture is that if there is a difference between school learning and the learning in the university. In the university, you are adult learners. You are motivated. You know what you are going to learn, and you have got experience of your life, and you have to learn actively and deeply. One more important thing, you have to have some extracurricular activities other than your college activities. Why it should be there? Because these extra academic activities will improve your communication skill, your teamwork, your decision making, your organization skills, attitudes, and personality development, personal development or personality. So this is required. You should participate in non-academic activities like making a camp or a football match, arranging some seminar, something like that. This will also give you some experience or some learning. So in general, it is called as holistic education, complete. It is covering every part, not only knowledge part, but for other like personality development, attitude, behavior, communication also. So summary is learning is different in university and the school. Active and deep learning is required in the university because it is required for lifelong. Identify your learning style, which type of learner you are, either visual, auditory, kinesthetic, or reading and writing, or what you call community group learners. If you find out your learning style, then you apply the same techniques to improve it and learn from your experiences. Use your academic and non-academic activities. This is all the best for you for the learning. Any questions related to this chapter?
All clear.
All clear.
Thank you.
What about the quiz that will be after 15 minutes, right?
Yes, the time is now currently 10:46. The quiz will start. It will be available on the Moodle. If you click, it will show you the time is from 11 o'clock. So you have to log in from now. All of you should log in on the Moodle from now because the quiz is very short time. It will not be opening after 6 minutes. 11:06, it will be difficult for you to open because the time is only for 6 minutes. So log in to the Moodle and try to open this one. If you are, let's say you log in now and it is stuck. So refresh it 1 minute before, like 10:49, you refresh it, 10:59, refresh it so that it will be available. And it will have questions like MCQs, multiple choice, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to choose one, or maybe it will have true, false. This sentence is true related to learning. This is very easy. I will tell you. Yes, you can use any device, iPad, phone, Android for only the Medu class quizzes. But for the final exam and those for the other blocks, you have to use the Safe Exam browser.
Doctor, where can I
From
find
the
the
app
quiz?
also, no problem. From the app also you can use. Yes.
Where can I find the quiz?
You can find the quiz here. I will tell you.
Moodle.
I will tell you where is the screen. Okay, screen is still here. On the Moodle, it is, see here, you can see 5 September to 11 September week. Go down, 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 down. You will see quiz 1. Here it is. Can you see this one?
I think it's still hidden from us, Doctor.
Why it is still hidden?
No, teacher,
No.
I see it, teacher.
This is for all your groups, 140, 141, 142. All group, full groups, all are involved. Those who are registered to the MCST there, they can see it if they belong to 140, 141, 142.
Okay, doctor, about the quiz. What is the style of the question or the?
Yes, the style of the question is either it will be true, false. Let's say one example is given here. One sentence is given. You have
Doctor, Doctor, excuse me, I have to leave, okay?
No need for leaving.
Because I have another lecture.
No, for how can you give the exam then?
I will give the exam, no problem.
Okay, you can give the exam, whatever, but you have to give the exam. Otherwise, if you don't appear for the exam, no marks, huh? And you have to bring the excuse.
I will give the exam
on the Moodle. On the Moodle, you can access the quiz. It is from 11 to 11, 11 to 11:06 only.
Is there any password for the exam?
No password. Just click and go ahead and submit.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Please, all of you should fill the Google form so that I will have your name and your mobile. Otherwise, in WhatsApp, I don't see it. Okay. Next question, please.
You sent the Google form in WhatsApp group. Yes.
Until now, yeah, 28 already filled this one. I will send the Google form on WhatsApp, no problem also. So you click this quiz and you will see the question. Now questions, as you were asking, it may be a sentence asking you whether it is true or false. You have to click according to what you understand. Maybe next question, maybe it is writing something. So type it. Now I will not ask you very difficult words, because if you see in Medu, you will be having some unknown words. The question is related to very easy words. You have to write it in English, right? Type it in English, and it does not take you maybe more than 30 seconds. I give you 1 minute, but it will be finishing within 30 seconds. It's few words only. How and how you do, or what do you do, like this one. So even if you don't write full sentence, at least write the minimum required sentence which will give you the answer. Okay.
It's not a multiple choice.
So we will
Mix. It is mix. Maybe multiple, maybe fill in the blanks, maybe drag and drop. It is written here, the instruction. You can see question types, MCQs, short answer, matching, fill in the blanks, or anything can come. It may be all multiple choice. It may be multiple choice with short answer. It may be multiple choice matching, but definitely for your sake, these are very easy questions if you know the English.
Okay.
The required thing is at least English. I'm not talking about the lecture. If you understand the meaning of the sentence, definitely you will write the correct answer.
Okay, doctor. We will not get the grade after the quiz.
Immediately after this one, you will not get the grade. But in the WhatsApp group, if you need the answer, or I can give you the answer for one particular question. Now you can judge whether you have wrote correctly or wrong. Right? Easy.
Yeah.
And at the end of the 5 quizzes, let's say you finish it in the week 6, 5th quiz, because it is second week now. In the week 6, suppose you finish the 5 quizzes, then I will accumulate all the marks for I will give you the breakdown also. Don't worry. I will give you the breakdown. What you got in quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3, quiz 4. There is just like a report card which you used to get from the school. My name, my ID number, and my marks in this quiz, and total. That's it. This will be sent to you on your MCST email. I will send you immediately after the 5th quiz, within 2-3 days after compilation of all the numbers. Any question?
Thank you.
Is it clear now? Everything? Every week you have to be present. Every week you have to log in through the Microsoft Teams. See the Moodle regularly. Be aware in your emails like MCST email and the personal email also, and Medio group also on WhatsApp. We will be communicating you 3 ways so that you should not miss. Still I know some people, some students, they don't bother to see, they don't bother to respond.
Okay.
So from my side, I will try 3 ways. If you don't follow it, up to you. This is adult learning.
Doctor?
Hmm?
On the